You've chosen a podcast from Low Moon Uprising. Enjoy.
Podcasts that do nothing but that.
And people probably listen to them a lot.
Oh, yeah, they're entertaining.
I have podcasts.
Let's start a podcast.
Gift of gab and contrariness.
Gift of yapping.
Let's start a podcast here.
All right, we're talking about podcasting on a different topic, but today we're podcasting on gaming. So this is Low Moon Uprising, the first session in October, which is, I forgot what the number is. I was going to put the number and I forgot. It is season 23, episodes 104, 5, and 6. So hopefully you all survived to the last of these 3 episodes.
23. I mean, we should have jumped at least one shark by now.
How about alligator?
I shared the backstory on Google Docs with you.
Okay, well, I'm not going to have time to look at it right now.
I know. I'm just letting you know.
And you're in line behind Arden. Because Arden said
Which,
it.
by the way, is a backstory I gave him like 3 weeks ago.
But I podcasted all of the podcasts, so the recorder was empty. So there was that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, you'll notice the tense music, and that is because when we left the Low Moon Uprising party, they were camping essentially in the vestibule near the stairs to go down to the next level. You've already been told that the next level is inhabited by Grimlocks, and Stro basically told you that Grimlocks, even though you have your disguises and are traveling as underworld dwellers, basically using your rings, the Grimlocks will occasionally attack for no real reason at all, because they're very volatile.
Dinobots?
And so there's that.
Me, Grimlock.
Okay. I wonder if I saved that document in here easily enough to find.
I'm a shadow thingy.
So are we
Well, everyone will have probably changed forms multiple times because you were sleeping. And as you'll recall, you have to change like every
Oh, yeah, you could forget
8
that.
hours.
Hour stuff.
Oh, it's an hour?
yeah, you have the ring off 5 minutes out of every hour.
Or you could be like stuck in your form or forget you are that or
Yes, you
something.
can permanently be stuck in your form.
Last thing I knew, I was a
Is it
behemoth.
kind of like druids, like where you get, if you're stuck as an animal so long that like you forget that you're that animal?
That is not what she said. She just said you will be stuck as that form.
I don't get that
And not be
impression
able
from
to
it
take the ring off.
while I use it.
No, it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't. You don't think so? Like, so you will the ring to come off, even though you can't technically touch the ring. Like your creature self doesn't wear the ring, but you just think I'm taking the ring off, and then you have it in your hand and you're back to normal. So that's different from changing forms. Very different, and it's not truly instantaneous either. Like it was taking time, several segments.
My
So
cookie had a lady.
15 to 20 seconds to activate the ring. So speaking of which, the first thing we have to do is you need to determine, as you are preparing to exit the staircase, what kind of underdweller you're going to be.
4.
You do have Noth and Stro traveling with you. You'll recall Noth is a dwarf and Stro is a Medusa, and of the very attractive, skinny, short skirt variety.
With her face covered.
With her face covered most of the time, although she did have it uncovered, and you guys had a fairly major encounter. It's going to be D10. It's going to be D10.
Oh, it's
I
D10.
got 4.
All right, so
1.
all right, Ron, you are a burrower beetle, sir.
Okay.
Tiny
8.
wingless beetle with 6 legs and sharp mandibles for burrowing through soil. You prey on small insects and worms that you discover underground.
8.
Okay.
8. Okay, 8 is you are a LaFlay, basically a mind player. So you have a big domed head and squid shoot, talk like little.
7.
Okay. 7 is a deep behemoth. You are the large gargantuan is redundant, has numerous limbs and massive hulking body capable of causing tremors underground. Hunts for prey such as large mammals and other underground creatures using its immense size to overpower them. So,
Too bad we couldn't have a
other than the fact that you will be hungry for as long as you remain that, it's actually kind of a cool thing. Josh? A 1. Okay, you also are a burrower beetle, sir. Arden?
9.
Okay, you are a deep gnome, sir. Kind of weak, strength of 7, fairly dexterous.
I've got all of it.
Handsome for a deep gnome. Okay.
You're just a normal gnome, but you're really into philosophy.
Your mental stats remain the same, but your spells are limited to first and second level. Okay. Tommy?
4.
4 for you, sir.
Yep.
You are an Earth Warden.
What?
An Earth Warden, a burly creature with 6 legs and a long exoskeleton for protection. Hunts for large prey such as burrowing rodents and small reptiles within its underground territory. So it is a burly creature with 6 legs and a strong exoskeleton. Aaron?
1.
You also are a burrower beetle. So burrower beetle, burrow beetle, burrow beetle. Yeah, it's hard to
So
say.
that's how it spells.
Burrower beetle, burrower beetle. That's all I'll say.
Behemoth. Whatever you are, and
Burrow hunter.
Flare guy.
And I'm a beetle.
Play.
Basically a squid head. The player,
mind flayer.
nasty called squid.
We've taken off every hour.
My fortune.
5 minutes out of every hour.
Tommy, you want to know my fortune?
You should have it off 5 minutes out of every hour.
The only outfit you ever need to wear
We're not
counts.
picking up as the other characters.
Correct.
Slay Queen.
Okay. Just to clarify, for game mechanics purposes, you will pick up the other characters generally when Adam is either incapacitated, sleeping, something like that, because it is the effect of the other life stone. So he is in both places, so when he cannot be alert here, he will be alert there. If he cannot be alert in both places, you'll find out what happens. So that'll be
The world explodes.
Yes.
His head just goes.
All right. Okay. And so 3 burrower beetles, a giant behemoth, a exoskeleton furry dude, and a squid head, and a deep gnome exit the staircase onto the level of the Grimlocks.
That is to say, walk into a bar.
Walk into a bar. Yeah, the behemoth probably wouldn't have much trouble at the bar. It'd have to be a pretty big bar. Okay. As you enter, before you, what you see is a large, sprawling, low level, never more than a couple of floors, cityscape, if you will. The streets, however, are very chaotically laid out. Where in the previous level you were able to cross long distances on one street, it is seldom that you'll be able to walk on the same street for more than a block. You are elevated. You're about even with the top of the first floor as you look out across the city, and you can see that there is a lot of activity ongoing, including there are at least 3 major skirmishes taking place where they appear to be fighting each other. So from where you are, you can see like in the first quadrant, right quadrant of the city, there is a battle taking place with about 100, maybe 200 at the most Grimlocks involved. Grunting, slamming, people getting thrown around, somebody ripping somebody's head off, that kind of thing. But you're seeing it from some distance, so a few hundred yards away. And then ahead of there to the left, about halfway across the city, you can see a skirmish, but you can make out way less details. Now, there are lanterns and there are torches burning all throughout the city. And then there is this kind of faint orange glow that comes up from mostly where the buildings touch the ground. So it's pretty well lit. It's not a situation where you're going to be lost in the dark like that. And you see the big battle. It's about halfway. That puts that battle at probably about a half mile to 3/4 of a mile away. And you really can't see any details of it. But you can tell that there's a lot of movement, and you maybe catch a glimpse of an attack or that kind of thing going on there. And then there is a third, larger than the other 2 skirmish that is pretty well consuming the entire far quarter of the city. You can see people running in and about, but that's about all you can tell. There's a lot of movement. And then you hear the constant sounds of battle coming from some distance, in all cases except for the nearest one, which is about 300 yards. Okay? So, unless anyone objects, Noth and Stro immediately walk down out of the staircase and head out onto the city streets. Now, you will definitely encounter Grimlocks during your passage. There's no question of that.
I guess I'll follow.
Also, you'll recall that it takes hours to cross the city, which means there will be times where you'll have to take the rings off.
Brunson has an internal monologue running about the stupidity of Grimlock society.
Okay. All right. Thinking it through. Okay. As you enter the streets and are picking your way through, the sound of the battle obviously gets closer, and you hear, and there is a kind of a screeching howl that they make. There's the sound of things breaking, and sometimes you think it's probably bone, and it is not small. Like when the crack of the Grimlock bone, when it's shattered or whatever, rings out for blocks. It's not like a human bone snapping. Has anyone ever fought or have personal knowledge with Grimlocks? Any of the characters that are present?
Closest thing I have is Legend.
Oh no.
Probably not.
I don't remember. I have a. There's a fairly.
If you do not have something about your character that says for sure you have not, you may make that decision, but then you just have to note it down. I always just say, I did, it was a long time ago.
Have you ever used them in this campaign?
Not in large numbers. I definitely, so actually Azuri and Adam fought a Grimlock in Eva Mel's chambers before you guys came, so they fought one there, and then I think there was another one where somebody summoned them.
I didn't know we fought in Grimlock.
This is why, right here.
Yep.
It was.
I don't think you really told us it was Grimlock.
You didn't say it was Grimlock, but you did fight it.
Yeah.
So it may not have been while you were fighting him, but I described it to you, and then the rest of the party encountered the rest of the group of Grimlocks, and it was described as Grimlocks because they were with Eva Mel, and she described it. So he told later that it was others. Got it. Okay. So you're off now. Nobody, except possibly Xavier. I think Xavier. So the LaFlay comes with a dagger. So your only weaponry is you carry one dagger. The Deep Gnome, I think, comes with normal garb and a walking staff. So you don't carry normal equipment. What's that?
Is it rod sized?
I mean, no, it's longer than a rod. You could probably use it like a rod. It's a walking stick. It's like 4 foot long, like a joystick.
Swim team like
But you're not expressly hoping to be a melee while a Deep Gnome. It's mostly for camouflage.
All the beetles have warbles.
I chew his arm off. 2 hours later. 2 hours later. Roll for d20. Oh, you took his arm off. Okay. All right. Anyway, here you go. You go down into the city. The fighting is going on. Who's leading? Stro and Node.
I vote the behemoth.
Probably not a bad idea.
Big boy.
Matter of fact, I'll be riding the behemoth.
As long as you're the behemoth, you have to go like this.
Don't say that.
You can tap the table for your step with this. Okay. I'm sure it's sounding out quite loud on the recorder. Okay. And so you're riding on the behemoth, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else riding on the behemoth?
I'm
Where are the other two beetles riding? So you can
wait.
walk. You're fast enough.
I'm sorry, unless the chick will let me ride,
That would be fine. You
like
can ride
on
on
her
her.
shoulder or
Yep.
something like that was
Yep.
before.
You can ride on her. It's covered by her cloak, but you're certainly welcome to ride on her.
I'll ride on the behemoth. That sounds like fun.
Okay. You stand up on top like this.
and so he rolls over.
Make a nightly beetle pose.
I'm walking next to the Medusa. That's a little monster who needs extra.
Medium, not little. Man
Little
size.
compared to the behemoth.
Definitely, yes. Okay, and you're a beetle as well. Where are you? Are you ground traveling or on someone?
Yeah.
You guys are the Beatles.
Okay. The beetle does keep up. So he goes, and he can easily keep up with the party.
I'll try to train beetle ship.
Okay, cool, awesome, I love it. All right, so you enter the city. As you do so, a Grimlock runs toward you, coming in the opposite direction. It's coming toward you, and it's obvious that he is running to the end of the road. He doesn't intend to necessarily interact with you. And Stro and Nov just kind of get over to the right.
I will go to the right.
Okay, he's like squishing over to the right, but he's filling the entire street. So he's leaving like about a foot and maybe two on one side. You could push into the building if you want to.
Nah, I don't feel like walking into the building.
Okay, so he pushes up against the building, but he's careful not to knock it down. He kind of sucks his behemoth body in, and the Grimlock is trying to squeak by.
I will keep my eye open for something that I could use as a lance.
Okay.
A toothpick? You're a beetle. You're like this big.
Yes. Yes.
Are they like beetle-sized beetles or are they like?
They're about this big.
Ooh, you're gross.
About between 3 and 4 inches long.
Pretty baby beetle.
What's
But
that?
they're pretty nasty.
Beetle.
Have you ever seen Return of the Mummy? The scarab beetles?
Yeah.
That's what they look like.
Little ball.
Same kind of thing. And just about as dangerous. Once they burrow inside you, you're in real trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, but it's pretty gross to be chewing through somebody, though. So you probably don't have human taste buds, so that's the good news. You wouldn't taste it too much.
When I was a beta, I always chewed into like a hound dog.
Yeah, he was attacking the dogs as a beetle. So, okay, so you squeeze over, just see how he reacts to having to slip past you. Okay, he slips past. You feel him like pushing against you, but he doesn't attack you. Okay. Now everyone does see good look at a Grimlock. He's about 7 foot tall, maybe a little less. He's very muscular looking, but he's very raggedy clothing, and he has a thick shafted hand axe that has a stone for a head, but does look very sharp. His skin color is such that.
If you don't want to miss any of the story, Low Moon Origins, Uprising, or Outsiders, like and follow our podcast. Please share it with friends.
You can tell, Arden, you can tell, and you can tell that his skin color is such that it's kind of leaning toward gray, like rock. Okay? The rest of you don't really see color, per se. Okay?
I just realized I don't do
Good for you.
What's that?
I said good for you.
Yep.
Progress.
Okay. And so he slips past, and then you're back moving again. Okay? And basically, everyone saw, like, Noth and Stro just kind of like, they just turned to the side, just kind of looked at the building as he went by. So he went behind them.
Did they ever say why they could travel through there freely?
They are underdwellers.
Because they're free.
Medusa and Dark Dwarfs, both they're underdwellers. But they're only safe to go down 3 levels. Beyond that, they won't go because they would be. You would actually get into the level of the Dark Dwarves and the Medusa, and they're not welcome there because they're exiles. Okay. All right, working your way through the street.
There's a whole level of Medusas?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where we're going.
Jeez.
I mean, whole, not like this, but numerous.
But we're going.
Okay. All right. And so you're working your way down the street. You come into a place where it kind of opens up. The conflict is definitely to the right, and you're within about 30 yards of it. So it's on the other side of buildings, but it's going on. You can hear the sounds of fighting, melee, crunching, that kind of thing. You've been walking for about 15, 20 minutes. And she's taking a turn to the left, which brings you out into a sort of a courtyard. It's a stone floor, and there is a low wall that is reminiscent of a fountain that is directly ahead of you, and you're going to have to basically either step over it or crawl over it or whatever, because it does block the entire courtyard. Okay? There is no way
There's
to
no
walk.
way to circumvent the massive open courtyard.
Yeah, you could go around if you choose, but that's not what she's doing. Do you want to suggest that?
Yeah, I would probably suggest that.
Okay, so you say what? You didn't say
Is there a more inconspicuous route? Or a conspicuous route?
I mean,
She says, I'm sure there is. We could stick to the alleyways if you wish, but I thought we were trying to make the best possible time. She puts her hand out to hold up notes.
I'm not sure you know this place better than I. Just stealth is my primary option. Not exactly.
I think you can deal with a giant behemoth is in the party.
So we can still communicate with each other?
So you can only talk if your mouth can talk, which means as a beetle you could basically sound like this. So can't really form words.
Great. We sound like
You have no tongue.
terrible AM radio.
The villains. You know how the monsters look in Halo, where they have their mouth like that. Yeah. So they really can't form no words. They don't really have a tongue per se. Okay, so she starts to back up, and she gets your attention and says, "Back up, back up."
Beatles.
I'm not
The
gonna
Beatles.
protest any more than to ask whether or not we should look for a less conspicuous route.
Okay. I mean, you did, and said you prefer stealth, and so now she's backing up the group.
Okay. That's
Okay. So you go back as far as the last left turn, You turn left. So the battle is still now paralleling you at like 30 yards on that side, just on the other side of a row of buildings, basically. And then you turn and move. Roll a d20 for me.
I got it.
9.
Okay. So as he turns the corner, he maybe missteps, and the ground shakes all around you for 20, 30 feet in every direction. And the building that is nearest you, the corner and the front wall of the building crumbles and it rolls into the street. You need to roll a saving throw versus step magic.
No.
13.
I'm sure it's fine.
Okay, sounds pretty good.
Yep. All right. So you see the beetle that's not riding on anybody, and he goes, and then the wall goes over top of him, and then you see the beetle go up out of the hole and continue on. Okay.
What would be the amount of effort required, I don't remember, to reset the rings?
It's very little, but you can't put it back on for 5 minutes after you take it off.
Right.
So you can take it off and put it back on 5 minutes later.
Okay.
And you are going to reset it every hour, so you'd just be cutting the hour short, basically. She has not said anything about them having like a limited amount of uses in a day or anything like that.
Okay.
They seem to be virtually limitless. Okay? And so everyone kind of circumvents the caved-in building. No one comes from the battle. No one really pays much attention to the tremor. Apparently that's semi-normal down here. You go around the building, of which one corner is caved in, and you turn to the right. So now, when you hit the next intersection, looking down to the right, about 20 feet or so, you see the courtyard that you would have gone through. And so you go on another building, and then another building, and then another building, and you have to turn either right or left. You turn right, goes into the courtyard. So she turns left, you go a building, and you turn right, and then you look down to the right, still see the courtyard, go another one. Okay, now you see the courtyard. Okay, then you turn to the right, and now you're past the courtyard, and you're working your way through. So as you do that, you pass the courtyard, you're now starting to get near to the larger conflict that's on the left. Okay? And you're picking your way through left, right, okay, rolling for random encounters. You've been down here now roughly about 30 minutes, about 40 minutes, let's say. Okay, hold on, let me chart. Okay. Also, while I'm doing this, Aaron, roll a d20 for me if you would.
10.
Okay. So 2 things of interest stand out to you as you've been crawling along the ground. The first one is a terrain feature. Okay. You realize that there's this orangish light that's coming up from the base of all the buildings. And when you get near to the base of the building, it's hot. And you get near enough to look, just out of curiosity, and you see that something like lava, like liquid stone, is flowing along under the building. And you realize that that there is like a sewer system, if you will, that is storm sewer type thing, that is draining off the magma. And so if you get too close to it, you will be damaged. And that also could potentially be useful to know at some point in time if you were looking for liquid rock to use. Okay.
Lava sewers.
Okay, I'm sorry, there was a second feature.
That would be like
The second feature that you saw was at one of the corners, in the body of a dead Grimlock, like in his head down, pretty much sunk down to his neck. So the front of his head is caved in and it goes down to his neck. There is it's basically a hand and a half axe. So it's like one of the Grimlock axes made of stone and wood, but it's much larger, more like a battle axe.
Okay.
Nothing you can do about it. Yeah, I mean, if someone wanted a weapon, it's definitely a weapon, whether or not. Probably would have some value to the Grimlocks too. It looks like a pretty nice Grimlock weapon.
It doesn't look nice for weaponry.
I mean, if somebody uses a battle axe, it's definitely a battle axe.
I don't think we have anyone that uses the battle axe.
Not normally.
Diaramuid might be able to.
Not normally battle axe wielding party much.
Let's get the same quantity as
We are a
the
party who loves money.
There's
But I'm a beetle right now?
You are a beetle, sir. And if you take the ring off and put it back on, it takes time to reset. I went past this 4 times.
Could be magical. Could be. No, I doubt so.
Very well could be magical.
Laying the dead body of a Grimlock.
So,
Maybe they also died.
Unless
the party is proceeding on, so if you want to attempt to bring it to the attention of someone who could actually pick it up and carry it, you would need to do so quickly.
I mean, I can't communicate with them, so.
Little sign language, little pointing, get somebody's attention.
Yeah. Let me point with my beetle lens.
Yeah, flailing around your front couple of
And
legs.
the only humanoid right now is Beyond.
Xavier's a Laflay, he's a squid man,
That's
and he's a deep gnome.
Okay.
I'm a
I guess I'll.
quadrupedal thing.
Yeah, he's basically an exoskeleton furry beast.
Okay. I'll climb up on.
And then you have Noth and Stro, which is the dwarf, which he does carry a battle axe. And then you have Stro. I think you saw she had a dagger before.
I'll climb up on Beyond's shoulder if I can, I guess.
Okay. Roll a dex check.
Start jumping up and down.
15 divided by. No, maybe dex.
And then roll a d20.
9.
Okay. So you are aware that the beetle is climbing up your clothes. You are fairly certain that it is Azari.
Okay. I'll ignore it until it matters. Then I'll.
Burrow his
What? My beetle.
He's clearly trying to get your attention.
What? What?
I go.
I'll look where he's pointing.
Okay. You see the aforementioned dead Grimlock with a battle axe of Grimlock style buried in its face.
Okay.
Clearly trying to get your attention.
I guess I'll go grab it.
Okay.
Not to hold the party up too long.
Yes.
You step on the body of the
It's not.
Grimlock and try to pull the axe out.
Him trying to call
Okay.
me.
Roll a d20.
It's a secret leopard. 7.
Ah, you managed to do it. It's a strain, but you've got it. You pull it out.
Okay.
Some gray matter drips off the end of it. Not human brains, but something like a brain.
Do I notice any of that?
Probably now, because he's doing it. Yes, definitely. You see him move over.
When I see him trying to get the axe, I'll help him.
Okay, so he steps up next to you, but he pulls it out just as you're arriving. It's a 1.5-hand axe, so it's about 3 to 3.5 foot shaft. The head is 10 inches wide by maybe a foot, and the head is made out of a stone that is chiseled sharp.
I won't say anything, but I'll just hold my hand out and offer to carry it for him.
Sure, I don't want it.
So now we have this dreaded Laflay. Basically, think of like Laflays. They look a little bit like gaunt janitor types, but with a squid face. And now he has this very scary axe.
Wearing coveralls with the name badge on it?
No name badge, but okay.
My name is Frank.
Okay, and then da-da, da-da-da-da, something else. That's not very exciting. Okay. Okay, we'll go with that. All right, so you're paralleling that.
Because I don't think I can talk.
You're paralleling that open courtyard, and the battle is to your left. And if you stay on this path, you will hit the edge of the battle. You will be going through a literal fight. So you're sure she's going to turn right. By the sounds of it, it is in front of you and even slightly to the right ahead. But you've got several hundred yards before you would actually be in it. And then all of a sudden, from a side passage comes dark canines, and you're thinking hellhounds, and everyone can roll for surprise.
I rolled a 2.
Oh, hey, I'm not surprised. I got 3.
I'm not surprised, but I'm worthless because I'm a beetle.
I'm like never surprised too. It's terrible.
I rolled
My
a
bad.
I don't think there's any more iconic weapon that a janitor could wield other than a football.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So you're telling me
So what, did you roll surprise?
No, yes, I got a 3.
in overall,
Not surprised, not surprised, not surprised.
in Italian
Surprise,
name?
surprise.
Are we sure this
No
isn't Mario?
surprise. Surprise. Okay. So the Behemoth, the LaFleur,
It's a janitor, not a plumber.
And the exoskeleton.
and the Exoskeleton are not surprised, and neither is Stro or neither and Noth. Okay? And so they dash into your midst, and we will roll initiative. Let's see, you guys roll 2s, 1, 2,
5.
1 segment of surprise, you roll 1 or 2.
I'm going,
You have dex
I'm
1.
useless at 9.
You should
So
probably.
you're
I'm
gonna
going
have 2 segments of surprise. So 1 segment of surprise for everybody else, 2 for Azuri. Okay?
Okay.
Now, mind you, they're probably going to ignore you because you're a beetle. So you're probably not in any grave danger. Okay?
Are there any spells that have no components whatsoever? No somatic, no verbal, no material?
I think so.
Okay, then I'm useless.
I can't think of any.
Druid spells
Yeah, Druid spells, yeah.
are mental. All psionic spells are mental, but I don't think psionic is actually a class in Low Moon.
Psionic is not.
No.
Science is a thing that some people have. Okay. Stro and No.
They changed that very quickly after first edition into a class, and then their spells are
And then
all.
we have the Wolves.
Every character in Dark Sun has a psionic ability.
Any missile fire.
Can I summon while I'm surprised?
I can throw the dagger.
You can't summon ball surprise.
I can throw the dagger.
You could throw the dagger. Yeah. And you're skilled at that. Then you won't have a dagger, but then you do have a battle axe. So, hey, something.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to throw the dagger?
Yep.
Roll
Throw
the
the dagger.
And you have a squid face.
Did you roll initiative?
That's
Yes.
a natural
This
20.
is-
Nice.
D4 for damage.
Yes.
And max damage. So 4 plus whatever the dagger is. If it's magical.
Magical roots.
Not based on the description.
Those are dragons.
Okay. So there are 6 of them, and they are in your midst pretty much immediately because they came from the side. They raced around a corner and raced around right into your path. And rather than just kind of racing past, they are attacking.
Okay. 4 plus the dagger if it's magical.
Just core you and give core and heave,
Okay.
and either run you through with the horn, or they throw you up in the air as high as they can, and then you fall down. That's usually what they do in Final Fantasy.
Program keeps not responding on me. I like that.
And then some games they cast magic, usually thunder up, thunder-based magic. 10.
The wolves.
10.
Wolf sound.
Speed.
Wolf running. Okay. So Xavier the LaFleur throws a dagger into one wolf, and it immediately yelps in pain. As the dagger, it didn't bury in it, but it glanced off and caused a noticeable wound, obviously. And then we're going to.
You touch your eyes after eating those Cheetos?
Yeah.
Ooh, I hate that. Melee 9. 8.
Yeah, I have nothing I can
9.
do, right?
Holding at the moment. I mean, you can attack. Burrowing beetles can kill living beings. You just have to get onto a wolf.
Problem is you're Brunson.
Yeah, that
The question is, do you want to burrow into a wolf or not? Is the question.
sounds dangerous and gross, so no.
Okay, we're gonna hold for now
I
then.
will continue to ride on the upper breast of the hot chick.
Okay, cool. All right.
Stinks
Melee
fingers.
8. Melee 7.
7.
Okay. You have 7. You have a battle axe in hand. There are 2 wolves coming against you.
Interested in giving financially to Low Moon and support the campaign? Text LMGIVE, that's LMGIVE, to 419-419-0095.
So do I still have my normal attacks and everything?
So you have your normal skill ability, but he's not actually proficient with the battle axe.
Yeah, but I still would get the two per one, right?
Nope, that comes with your proficiency. So you'll get 1 per 1, but you have your normal THAC0. You have a negative for not being proficient, but your THAC0 is pretty darn good. So, so you're what level fighter?
9th.
9th. So essentially, you would have a 14 THAC0.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rolled a 14.
It's easier.
No problem. Okay. It's D8.
That's a D10. There's the D8. 8.
Okay. Hit him hard. You put your strength
whatever.
bonus in it, right?
No, I did not. I didn't know I still got the strength bonus, but okay. So then it's 8 plus another 6.
Good old 14.
Plus whatever the axe does.
The sword hacks the wolf,
It's that battle axe.
and the wolf like crumples under the force of the blade and lays on the ground, not moving.
More done.
Okay.
I look like, huh, effective.
All right. And then that was 8, right?
Yeah, no, that was 7.
Okay. Any other 7s?
I'm in 6.
6s.
Okay, great.
Okay. So here you are, this giant behemoth. You're filling most of the alley, and your party is all in front of you. You already know that you can do considerable damage by just stomping on the ground and causing tremors.
Smash.
There are not currently any wolves that are headed to attack you. They're going after the gnome, the Laflay, and Stro and Note.
Do I have like an arm to like see and like move?
You have a limb that is more like a tree than a like not a tentacle, but it's like this big around. So you can go on top of something on the ground.
I like try to move because I want to just like swing my arm through the alley.
Okay.
See what I can hit.
Shove it along and
Yeah,
try to
just-
hit. Okay. All right. And you're trying to not hit your party friends.
Yes,
I
that's
assume.
why I'm waving
Okay.
like move.
Okay.
Say move.
I don't think I can speak.
He doesn't have a normal mouth.
Make an attack.
You can grunt. Okay. So roll a d20 to hit.
Please. Roll high, roll high, roll high.
7.
That's not very high.
Okay. So he just kind of motions, and when he does so, he kind of shoves you out of the way.
Okay.
Not painfully, but just kind of skitters you aside on the ground. And then he pushes his hand forward toward the wolves. But what happened was, as he shoved you out of the way and then he drew back and he started to strike, he twisted, and instead of it going down the alley, it goes into the building to the left. And the whole front of the building, brick and everything, caves in down onto the street. And of course, there's a huge rock slide noise.
Affecting the market value.
Adam!
He's just preventing gentrification.
Okay. You are entitled to 2 attacks per round, so you can go again later. You can't go right to the second till after they go. Just looking to see if I had crashing rock, but it doesn't do something. Okay. That was 7? 6. 6. Okay, so in 6 we have wolves that are moving into attack.
Whoa! Satisfying. That's already satisfying.
So the deep gnome is surprised, and so the only wolf that's actually coming after you will claw, bite you. And he will hit with claw and bite, but not with both claws, so you will not get raked. You will take 2 points of damage and 6 points of damage. Okay. He's basically on his hind legs, like up against you and trying to claw you and get a hold of you.
Okay. I thought you were talking Tom.
You are the deep gnome. 2 points of damage and 6 points of damage.
I'm just a local
And
fauna.
he did not get both claws on you, so he didn't rake you.
I look like
Okay.
local fauna.
So that's on the deep gnome. Alright. And then this is on Noth.
Church or dove?
Okay, Noth returns fire. Noth did get hit, by the way.
The only thing I hate more than fauna is birds. Get them.
That's too human. The only thing I would be worse than fauna. Fauna and birds are human.
Okay, so the wolf jumps on Noth, and he is knocked to the ground. And he is still fighting the creature with battle axe and shield, but he did get knocked to the ground and raked by its rear claws. So he's got a little bit the worst of it to start with. And then the last one is on Stro.
Jeez.
Okay.
I said G's because of the noises from the speaker.
What if as a beetle, you go in and then you will your ring to come out?
Okay, so the creature jumps up on Stro and it claws her once, and then she basically goes back against the building, so her back is to the building, and she's mostly facing away from you guys, and then she throws her hood off, and she's holding the creature in front of her. We're initiative 5. 4.
4.
Okay.
I'm gonna help out the dwarf person getting raped.
Okay. So there are no wolves that are coming against you.
Okay.
There's one on Stro, one on Noth, one left on Xavier, one left on Theon.
Noth is the dwarf that's getting raped.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna help.
Okay. So you're stepping up to help him.
Yeah.
All right. You move in beastie-like. Roll the hits. I think your claw bite.
Mm-hmm. And if I trick them, I get bonuses. If I knock them down, I get bonuses. 15. I assume 15. It's a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking up to see if there's anything else.
D6.
D6 plus 1.
Plus strength.
Yes.
So 9.
Check out Amal Dan Inc. for incredible opportunities to support the ministry.
Okay. So it's still alive, but you pushed it off of him, and you basically pinned it back away from him, so that unless it could get around you, it's not going to be able to get to him.
Okay. I do know.
And that was just one. And it's already gone, so you're going to take the other claw and the bite.
Claw number 2. He's landing on it. 14. That's one left.
Hit.
Or 10.
Okay, so it stops moving.
Okay.
Now, you can tell this is an actual wolf.
Oh.
It's not a hellhound.
Whoops.
No, you're on top of it, and you also realize that, at that point, you realize that your vision for detail in this form is extremely myopic. Like, you could see what looked like wolves coming out of the alley, and you're seeing everything, but further away, it's not very clear. But now that you're, like, looking down at it, you can see it perfectly. You're only, like, a foot away, you can see it perfectly. It's definitely just a normal wolf.
Oh, these aren't hellhounds?
No.
What's Medusa lady's got one. One's on Theon. Can I throw a charm person / mammal with the one on Theon?
Yep.
I'll do that.
Okay. Okay. So the spell goes off. It won't immediately get the results, obviously.
Yeah.
So those who are watching see a violet hue with light flecks in it take place over top of the wolf that's on Theon for a moment. Like it's kind of a little spell effect. Okay. All right.
He's casting.
And that was for 3. 3.
I'm gonna have a bite, but I'm not gonna use it.
2. You're not currently engaged. 1. Surprise segment ends. So everybody that was surprised for one segment is now not surprised. The only person still surprised is Azuri. Okay. Okay. Arden, roll a d20.
Natural 20.
Okay. All right, and you are not surprised. So, you had one more attack going, though.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. So, the only one that you could possibly get a clear strike at without hitting your friends at this point is the one on Xavier, which is unwounded.
Okay. I'll attack. I'll
Okay.
just.
All right.
I'll just 5. I missed.
Okay. Roll a second d20.
Oh, good. 19.
Okay. All right.
You hit me.
Okay. So what happens is you're facing off the creature that has not you didn't kill, right? And
Bro.
he goes before it because he over doubled its initiative. So it had a claw bite yet coming on you, but I haven't done it yet. And then what happens? He strikes at the creature. He misses completely, but then he causes the building beyond you and the creature to cave in. And as he pulls his hand back, rubble rolls over top of the creature and somewhat over top of you. So you need to make a dex check.
My bad. Not only am I
You have your normal
trying
dex.
to.
Yes, you have normal dex.
Yeah, made it by a lot.
All right, so you scramble out of the worst of the rubble, but you do take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Okay. And the wolf is killed.
Yay! I did something useful.
You've knocked down 3 buildings now, and you're time as a behemoth.
I don't care.
You managed to
It's
take
not
out
discreet
3
at all.
buildings.
That's very discreet.
Nothing
yes.
about his form is discreet.
Yeah.
No. No, but it is kind of a leave me alone type form. Okay. All right, so we are in a new round. Missile fire. New surprise segment. Missile fire. Okay. Melee 9.
It's any consolation. I don't feel the one treasure.
I hold a 9. I could cast quick and magic missile. All you gotta do is point it, right?
Yeah, correct.
So,
However, it looks like they're mopping it up now, so.
yeah.
You just go.
That's why I said I'm holding.
You go.
Melee 9. Melee 8. Okay. In Melee 8, the wolf that Stro is holding turns to stone.
Don't show her in here.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Then we go to Melee 7.
I'm in 7.
Okay. So you have nobody on you. There is still one on Deep Gnome Theon. There is still one on. No, there isn't. So there's 2 of them. One on her. She turns to stone. There's one on Theon. Oh, and he killed one of those on you. There's only one left. Okay. So there's one that's on Theon.
I'll attack.
Okay. So you're charging forward. Roll a d20 for me.
Jason.
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
9.
Okay. As you're charging forward, like just as you're about to attack the creature, it drops down and it looks like it's stopping attacking. You can kill it if you want, but it looks like it's stopping attacking.
I'll just try
And you
to.
did see a light go off on the creature. Like her.
I'll see if it'll just shoo away.
Okay. So you just try to scare it
Yeah, I
away.
just try to charge at it.
Okay. All right, so yeah, it skitters away from you, but it doesn't run away. It just kind of lingers at a distance, like standing sideways and looking in the direction of the fight,
But it's
basically.
towering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll leave
So
it.
at that point, the combat is over, and Azuri is no longer surprised. Congratulations, sir, on that. Bringing the wolves
You get 1
to
experience
end.
point for no longer being surprised.
He gets an equal share of experience because he was at risk. Even though he didn't do much.
She'll be running around.
Yeah.
I'm just a beetle, nobody loves me. He's just a beetle.
Nope, that's true.
From a poor colony.
Oh look, we have a button that says Mind Flayer Talks. Let's see what this sounds like. It sounds like the creatures from Halo.
That's how they sound in Baldur's Gate too. Or 3. Baldur's Gate 3, 2. TOL.
32? As in 32?
No, as in Baldur's Gate 3, TOL.
I knew what you meant. Oh, here's another one.
When they give orders and stuff.
That's what you sound like when you talk.
Me and my old friend going on adventures.
Okay.
Some cats, some cats.
All right. The battle is still going on in front of you, pretty much in front, even right and left. So you're going to have to kind of go around it, basically, and that is what she begins to try to do. You left the dead wolves in the alleyway. So it appears that the wolf that you charmed is charmed. And so therefore, if you want, you could bring it along.
Okay.
Tell it to come along. It doesn't understand how it's charmed by a giant exoskeleton furry beast.
It doesn't.
Will it still be charmed when you're back to you?
Probably.
It'll probably still be charmed, but it'll be weird. Trying to figure out who you are.
This is so awkward.
Because it is magical. It's not based on what it looks like.
It's not dumb magic, it's smart magic.
Okay?
Sorry, we get back on the menus, boys.
So you begin to navigate to more through the city. You get closer to the fight, turning to the right, fight, turning to the right, fight, turning to the right. And then you finally get to the point that the city, it is really only to the left and ahead. It's no longer in front of you. You haven't gotten past it at all yet. But she's navigated so that the courtyard is behind, the right side battle is behind, the left side battle is ahead and to your left. At which point in time, Ron, roll a d20.
Okay. 11.
Okay. It occurs to you that it has been nearly an hour since switching forms.
Tapping on.
Okay, so you get her attention?
Is she wearing a ring of any sort?
No.
I'm not talking about those rings. I'm talking about just any ring.
She does not have any rings at all.
Okay. I'll start pointing to.
She doesn't even wear a lot of clothes.
I'll point to her. I'll curl down and point to her ring finger.
Okay.
I'm trying to ask me to marry you?
She figures it out and she says, it is time to adjust.
So she goes, yes, it does.
And she looks at Adam and she says, make an opening here. He goes,
Hulk smash.
knocks the building down. There's an old woman inside, old woman Grimlock. She's like, there are no old women Grimlocks, unfortunately. But
yeah, I doubt their life expectancy is really high.
It's not real good. Okay, and so everyone but the behemoth can easily fit in the opening that he has created, crawling over or through the rubble, and you need to remove your ring. Okay, everyone roll percentile dice, please.
Just don't try.
Don't roll super low.
65.
96.
51.
58.
Oh, there it is. 78.
Okay, everyone removes their rings, and you are yourself again. At least briefly. You have to remove yours in order to be able to go into the building, because you won't fit without knocking.
I got 96, so.
Okay, so he comes inside as himself. He scrambles over the rock. You see Adam. What a contrast that behemoth to Adam is. And he's in. The wolf comes in as well. And then you take it off, and then it takes him a moment, like he's scared because he doesn't understand what just happened. But then after a moment, you're able to get him to adjust and realize that you have charmed him. So, also, now you can assess him. Do you have animal handling, healing, or anatomy?
I have anatomy.
Okay, you can do that with a minus.
Is that wisdom?
Yes.
I'm a wise boy. I got a 5.
Okay, no problem.
18 wisdom.
All right, so it is a normal wolf, however, is definitely malnourished, and it has some kind of a mild infection in its eyes. There's some goop basically building up in its tear ducts and like that. And so it needs a little bit of care, more than what a normal wolf would need. But also you realize that it's so far from outside. Like, these are normal wolves they're like timber wolves, the kind that would live in the forest. And this was a...
It seemed to be, you said it seemed like diseased or something maybe?
But he has some kind of a sickness, disease, or something in his eyes, but it's not that. It's like not killing him. It's just messing with his eyes. It might be maybe messing with his temperament a little bit as well.
Because I have cure disease, I can drop that on potentially.
Yeah. So just having cure disease is in memory is enough to be able to sense whether it will work or not. So you don't have to use it and check. So yeah, you think it will cure whatever's affecting his eyes.
Okay, I'll do a cure disease on him.
All right. So the spell goes off. The goop stuff kind of just like falls away, basically.
Wipe it with a rag.
Yeah. Also, the sounds of the battle are a little more distant now because you're inside, but they're definitely still ongoing. Okay. Anyone doing anything in particular in the 5 minutes that you're waiting
I'm
before
looking over the
reattaching?
axe that I've got.
Okay. So it is a heavy shafted. The axe feels like wood. The handle feels like wood, but it's a bleached wood, almost like birch wood, birch bark. It looks like that color. Then the head is as previously described, sharp and scary. Okay. And
I gotta look to see if I have a particular spell. Hold on a second.
okay, no problem.
Just contemplating to see how to contribute while being so small without getting icky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're no longer so
Well,
small.
right now you're Jake, so.
Oh, I mean, if it happens, yeah.
Yeah, it'll probably happen again.
So you said it's a stone head, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It could be one of those things he was.
That is very bright.
It's like laser corrective visor.
I don't remember that happening much when I was younger. The sun doing that in the evening. Like, I don't remember ever having that problem. I wonder if it's a new thing. The sun is burning hotter than it used to in the evenings in the fall. I don't know. All right.
Global warming.
Say again?
Something goes on later.
Yeah. All right. So no, other than whatever he's checking, we've got nothing going on in the 5 minutes. You can eat. Obviously, you've been traveling for
Yeah, I'm probably
between
eating
an hour and a
something.
half.
Yeah, being
Snack.
an Elgie.
Use the bathrooms.
I did not take it. Oh. I was thinking about taking it, the Halen's bow. I didn't know if it would transfer in our other forms or not.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So you did
No,
not
because I cast on the melee weapon, so.
Yeah. So one thing that it does occur to you, knowing magic as you do, if, for example, he's almost certain to maintain his ability to fight. All he has to do is put his sword down before he puts his ring on. The problem is then, if he's a beetle, he wouldn't be able to carry it. But not everybody's going to be a beetle, right? So he could function as a swordsman. As a Laflay, he just has to have the sword.
That's a very scary mind
I'll
flayer.
point that out.
It's a scary mind flayer.
You do realize that you can put your sword down on the ground before you transform, and then if you happen to transform into something with hands, you can use it.
Huh.
However,
What
if
I
you don't, then somebody has to carry your sword.
But what if we all transferred to something that can't carry it?
Well, then you're screwed.
Or then you just take the ring back off and put it on again.
Then you just leave your sword here.
No, it says.
Well, that's good to know.
Your
It
intelligence
would delay
knows
us,
what
but
balance.
that shouldn't happen. There's enough of you that some. Although I think the deep gnome is pretty inadequate for carrying things, as I recall. He's weak.
Can you carry a long sword or two?
I mean, he could, but it'll slow him down. He's weak. His elemental is not weak.
Can you just have the elemental all the time?
Yeah, I just got a picture.
No, it only lasts a while.
Just got a picture of an elemental wielding Jake's sword.
Can I just be the elemental?
No. Sorry, that doesn't work out.
That's not how the force works.
Okay, I'm going to check real quick. In this building that you are in, you had a moment to kind of eat and whatever, and then you look around at some of the other rooms, and you do find one thing that's of interest, and that is the front corner room in the opposite direction of the fight. Does anybody have direction sense?
I have
Somebody does.
it, I think.
add them into one direction sensor because we didn't have it for the longest time.
Yes, I have direction sense.
Okay. So you are aware
Should have
that,
recently.
geographically speaking, that is northeast. Because you're heading north as you're crossing town, basically. Okay? That front room has smoothed-ish boulders that are covered with a green slime. There's no green slime in this room, or boulders in this room for that matter, but about half that room, and highest to be about 5 foot, 6 foot high in one corner going down to the center of the room, are boulders, and they're rounded off edges. There's no sharp edges to the boulders. And then they're stacked up in a pile, and then there's a green slime that's covering them.
You get the sense of like it ooze or something.
I mean, maybe. It looks like green slime. It literally looks like green slime, but it doesn't appear to be alive or anything.
Does it look like it's been corroding the boulders with its acid if it was a green slime?
I mean, that would be one reason why the edges would be smoothed over, you think?
Yeah. I'd stay away from that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't think
I'd
they would
much
go
rather
good
stay
on
away
your
from that.
steak or chicken.
If it's an actual green slime, I believe they have an acidic nature to them.
Also, during the break, Stro takes the time to tend Noth's wounds.
Yeah, but I need to stay away from that then, huh?
Anyone else wounded enough to seek medical attention?
No, not really.
If I cast mirror,
Do you want me to look at your wounds?
Sure, just some Medusa or the other person.
Medusa.
Sure.
She makes sure her hood is up. Okay. She can't help it. Natural point. It's always the one who lost the most hit points that gets the natural point.
if I
Check out Things Were Different Back Then, the origin story of Lord Victor told from a certain point of view.
cast
Yeah,
mirror
you can help
image,
him because I failed.
if I cast mirror image on myself, what do I think it would transfer to my other form?
3 points. I get
Probably.
2d3, right? Healing 2?
Yeah.
Yes, healing 2 is 2d3.
Just got a picture of like 20 beetles, right?
20 behemoths would be scary.
Oh, jeez.
No more city.
No, it wouldn't actually be 20. It'd be 20.
Right.
Be one behemoth and 19 images, or 19. They don't fully form side by side either. They're like
You think that
overlapping.
You think that'd be add a great bonus to his morale roll?
Yeah, everything would probably.
Okay, I don't think any more Grimlocks would mess with us.
Yeah.
20 behemoths, probably not. If it was 20 full behemoths.
20 behemoths.
Okay.
20 behemoths
All
running
right.
next to
So we're ready to put the rings back on.
I'm gonna cast
I
mirror image.
will
Okay.
leave my sword out.
Getting rid of a 50 gold piece gem.
Okay. So Jake is leaving his sword out. Is Xavier leaving his sword out?
Can I trust somebody to carry my sword?
I'll drop the axe.
Okay. So the axe is going to be your crossover weapon.
Yep.
So you don't have to risk losing it.
Yep, just so I don't have to risk losing my sword.
Okay. All right. And then you may put your rings on. Roll a d10.
My ring
I
on
am, by the way, I am skewing the list by a random number.
4.
I rolled an 8 again.
Okay. You rolled a 4.
Yep.
So you, sir, are a mind flayer. Look like.
Oh, you reversed
I rolled a
it.
second.
Wait, no, I added a random number.
1.
1 is a shadow lizard.
That's what I am. I got
The creature has 4 legs and a sleek body adapted for moving silently through dark underground tunnels. Preys on unsuspecting insects, small mammals, and even other underground creatures. It is roughly man-sized.
I rolled an 8.
Also,
Percentile.
I rolled an 8 again.
you rolled an 8 on the dice.
Right.
That puts you at number 2, which is you are a tunnel rat. Tunnel rat is a nimble creature with 4 legs and keen senses, allowing it to navigate through tight underground spaces, hunts for roots, insects, and small animals, and does not wield an axe.
You dirty tunnel rat.
I got it 2.
I take the ring back
I'll
off.
make sure when I change.
We'll delay the whole party for another 5 minutes, don't
Yep.
forget.
Jan, when I change, I'll make the make sure the
It's
wolf
not
sees
something
me
he would
change.
think about.
Okay.
I got-
Say that again.
I'm making sure the wolf sees me change.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty much right.
Who rolled the 2? You are a magma crawler.
Just a large, massive creature with 8 strong legs and heat-resistant exoskeleton for surviving in volcanic underground environments. You feed on lava-dwelling creatures and molten minerals for sustenance.
8.
8 is a 2. You are a tunnel rat. You rolled the same thing he did. Both left a weapon out so you could potentially use it and then became tunnel rats. Except he's taking his ring back off and making everybody wait 5 minutes.
Oh, if he's doing it, I'll do it.
You may as well. Okay, so we're going to try again. So does anyone do anything during the 5 minutes while you're waiting?
I rolled 69% for my
Nice.
mirror image.
Okay, so that's 3, right?
3, probably.
Yeah, I think
So I have 3 times 5. I have 15.
of you.
16 shadow lurkers. 17 shadow lurkers.
That's kind of scary too.
That is scary.
You're kind of creepy.
Okay. So anyone else doing anything else in the 5 minutes while we're waiting? Stro seems moderately impatient, but she doesn't say anything.
I assume I can't practice as a movement thing.
No, probably not.
Do you know the duration on mirror image?
I don't. I guarantee it's whatever it is minus 5 minutes this week.
Maybe I shouldn't.
Dang it.
On Earth or
Players.
Might be minutes per level.
if that's the case, I ain't casting it yet.
Someone vomited there.
Use
Two per level.
Huh?
2 per level.
2 rounds?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Holding it for now then.
Yeah. 2 minutes per level?
Yeah, and all of the affected images of yourself appear within 6 foot radius of you. So that's actually pretty big. So when there's space, they will be like next to you, not just where you are. Not just overlapping. Okay. So we're holding those. You do not have all the shadow lurkers. We wait 5 minutes. We put the rings back on the fighters again. And roll.
I rolled a 3.
You are a LaFlay.
I rolled a 2.
Pick the axe up.
You are a Behemoth.
6.
Ultra good.
Was that your first roll? Yeah, they're rolling second rolls right now. So 6 plus 4. So you are a mind player. LaFlay.
I look at my longsword longingly, and then I look at Diaramuid.
I'll pick his longsword up.
So
the 2 of them
I'll get my
took
balls.
their rings off and put them back on. If you're not satisfied with being a mind player, you can do that. Also,
Okay,
just as a side note, they were laying swords down to potentially be able to use their swords in their new form. You could have done the same thing with a bow, for example.
I don't have a bow, but I'll do that with my sword.
Okay. Yep. So you could lay your sword down, and then now you're a mind player, so you can use it.
So if I
If
change forms and I drop my spell pouch on the ground,
Are you only good with
I would
longbow?
have material components. Like if I was a LaFlay, for example, I could cast spells, somatic, verbal.
Yes, in theory.
Okay.
You haven't
I
ever
switch
tried
when
to
they
cast
switch?
as a LaFlay, but yes. You haven't ever tried to do that as a LaFlay. Bear in mind,
I guess.
they don't have the exact same anatomy that you do, so there could be like a chance you might fail with this ring spell. And certainly verbal components with a LaFlay could still be an issue. But you should be able to cast as a deep gnome, but that's only 1 in 10 chance. So. But the point is, you should be able to.
I'll try it.
Okay.
When they switch, I'll switch too.
All right. So go and roll.
8.
3. You are a rock scorpion with 8 legs and a pair of pincers.
I have a short bow. It's like
Rock scorpion is a formidable predator in underground caves and crevices. He feeds on insects, spiders, and small reptiles that cross his path.
Battle scorpion.
All the range,
Battle scorpion.
ranges are double.
I point at
And it's metal.
my spell component pouch.
Just want to pick that up. Okay.
Point, point, point.
All right. So who do we?
I'll pick it up.
All right. So he's got the spell component pouch, and he has an axe. Because you became a LaFlay, right?
Yeah. And he picked up my sword too.
And he has. Oh, there you go. Now you're talking.
And I picked this sword
This
up.
sword's really cool.
Okay. All right. So everybody knows what they are.
If it gets destroyed, not my fault.
I would be using.
It'll be
this
your
sword.
dice roll, so it will be your fault.
I'd
Okay.
be using.
Are
this
Are we
sword.
satisfied now? Can we finally move on?
Yep,
Stro
move
says. If we stick around long enough, we're sure to encounter trouble.
woof.
Stay tuned for more Low Moonian adventures.